All right, my beautiful people. So, welcome to day 3, right? So, yes, the first day was really an intro. The second day, we talked a lot about understanding, which comes from a lot of acceptance, and it comes from surrender, right? Complete surrender, which is the hardest thing that we can do. And that's why we spend 21 days, tapping into these topics because you're just not able to conquer them overnight. And so, today, our focus is perception. And it says, I know there are infinite ways of looking at things, and I hope myself to exploring and learning all points of view. And so I love this because part of this program is going to talk about limiting beliefs, right? Fears, limiting beliefs, all the things that we hold within. Yes, we're going to work on the physical aspects, and yes, we're working, on a lot of the mental aspects, but we're also working on the spirituality and the manifestation. And so if we're working on those things, we must get past certain fears, certain lacks of self-worth. And a lot of that comes from perception. A lot of the spiritual experience ends up coming from personality change and perspective change. And so the truth is, a lot of people get really nervous when they hear, whoa, I'm in this spiritual rock bottom, or I'm going through this situation, and maybe I'm causing a lot of it. But the truth is, that is the best case scenario. The best case scenario is that you are the problem, because if you're the problem, that means you can go within and heal it within yourself. And when you become your own healer, it is a life-altering experience for every area of your life. And so with that being said, this focus on this practice is going to be about perspective. I want to just talk a little bit about, I know I'm going to hit on like nutrition and other little fun things, here and there. And so I wanted to just talk about nutrition before we actually get in the practice, because I want to make sure you guys are listening. So as always, make sure you guys are hydrating as you're doing this practice. You should be doing this when you wake up. And I also wanted to just talk about nutrition and sleep, because they're actually very tied together. But sleep is much more deeper. And so when you go to sleep, right, your body is processing all the things from that day, right? So everything you ate, everything you experienced, the emotions, right? If you ever have a really emotional day and then you're like, whoa, I slept so deep. Pretty much what happens when you sleep, you're in recovery mode. And so when you're in this recovery mode, your body is like an assembly line, right? So the car is going down and it's building this car, and then you wake up and the car is here, right? It's a whole assembly line. What happens is, if you're taking a lot of things in the day that are like toxins when it comes to nutrition, chemicals, not natural food, your body is going to really struggle to process that, which is actually going to affect your sleeping. Sleep is so key to lowering cortisol, right? There are so many things you can do, whether it's herbal teas or you're using essential oils. Um, you know, Things like lavender, chamomile, vetiver. Like, there's so many essential oils that are so impactful to use every night before you go to sleep, right? The idea is that essential oils are 60% um, purified. So what happens is, like, one drop is actually more, it ends up being more powerful than the actual plant, right? Because it's so heavily concentrated. And a lot of these plants are just natural, and they just bring this calming sense to you. That way you're able to sleep better. But also too, there's so many teas, right? So if for me, like, I love lavender. I love lavender and chamomile. So what I'll do is get those two herbs and make my own loose leaf teas. And so that's the fun part of this, is you kind of begin to become your own healer. And so when you go to sleep and when you wake up are two of your biggest moments. Going to sleep is going to set the tone for your sleep for the night. One of the things I also do is include high frequency music, because high frequency allows your brain waves to lower. And once they get low enough is when we hit beautiful stages of meditation. It's when we hit, divine intervention, but also too, it just completely calms the body. And so as you begin to decompress through the, first 7 days of this course, it's going to be completely natural that you're tired, like way more tired than usual. And instead of overpowering it with coffee, and instead of trying to avoid resting, I want you to rest. Because what's going to happen is, you're going to be stuck in that loop where you're trying to push it away, and it's just going to keep going on repeat. And then your body's going to be in fight or flight mode, which will cause other symptoms. But nutrition is really key here. So here's the thing with nutrition is you can work out all day, you can do these practices all day, but if you are poisoning your body with not natural food, you're going to be stuck. So one thing you'll notice about my meal plan is that it's going to be your perimeter of the food store, right? So it's literally going to keep you on the outside where you're going to go like meats, produce, vegetables, everything that comes from this earth is on that perimeter, right? So the beauty of it, it cuts your shopping time in half because you're not going up and down, right? So as this first week, as you're decompressing, I want you guys to start to look at every single label of what you're eating. So, right, a lot of people love protein bars because they're fast and they're on the go. I want you to go in the back and I want you to read every single label. Most of these protein bars are adding immense amounts of sugar, right? And what does sugar do? It attracts bacteria. So, right, this healthy protein bar is attracting bacteria. But then also too, it's adding like very, very harmful ingredients, right? So like you guys will see the bars that I always recommend are Go Macro bars or the Lara's bars, because if you look at the back and here's really the test of every single thing you eat for the next week. And you can go on the back of the label and you can read every single ingredient, you're in business. If you know what every single ingredient is, then it's a check. And if there's no added sugars, it's also a check. One of the other things I want you to start to look for is oils. So really, the only oil I would ever suggest using, honestly, is olive oil. Avocado oil is great too, but olive oil, right? So, and you'll see a lot of these, brands are using things like canola oil, vegetable oil. These oils are such high inflammatories. They will keep you so inflamed and they're so damaging. So I want you guys to kind of just take that in. Okay, so breakfast, most important always. One of the biggest things that I like to do is I actually break my fast with my dates, saffron, and ghee. Okay, so I'll put my little recipe like on the description below. But that's a great way to break fast. There's a lot of healing properties. Saffron is a very high-end herb, but it's such a healing one. There's so many benefits. So I'm going to bullet everything so you guys have this all laid out. But ghee is also a really healing one too. So I want you guys to make it super important about what you guys are taking in. If you're one of those people that takes in a protein shake in the morning, we're going to put that aside for the next 21 days. And I'm going to get to that in the next few days because I don't want to spend this whole time. But sleep, nutrition go hand in hand, and they are so overly important. 80% of physical fitness, right, is done in the gym, or I'm sorry, 20% of your transformations within your body are done in the gym, and 80% is actually done in the kitchen. So, right, there's been moments where I have actually not worked out at all, and I've been in the best shape of my life, but my nutrition was absolutely on point. So I won't bore you with all of this for the whole practice. It's time to practice for your morning routine. But I wanted you guys just to have a little bit of knowledge of that, of perspective. Okay, so I'm actually going to create the most loving relationship with food for you because I'm Italian and Lebanese. I love food. Okay, I travel the world. I want to try everything. And food isn't a bad. It's not, I don't want you to have a bad relationship with food because that in itself of being in this cortisol level of I can't eat this, I can't eat this. Da, 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 da. No, life is not meant to be stressful. So we're de-stressing. So that meal plan is also going to have so many opportunities and so many options for you guys. Like if you don't want salmon, eat chicken, right? So this whole process is about decompressing. Okay, so don't stress it out. And of course, ask questions whenever you need, and we'll get started. Obviously, I'm a nerd when it comes to like nutrition and health and herbs and things like that. So I tend to get lost because I love what I'm talking about. So you get into seated position. I want you guys to really sink your root into the mat. And as you sit here, I want you to think about the mat as your soil and your body as the root, okay? Which means we must take care of the root and be cautious of where we plant ourselves, what soil we use. So before we just hop into this practice, I want you to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your stomach, whichever feels natural. And for a minute, I want you to connect to every single chakra. Focus on the crown of your head. Let your lotus flower completely open. And as it opens, allow everything to come in and let everything out. Begin to feel like everything's entering in the left side and everything's exiting out of the right side. Keep that line open at all times. Next, let it travel to your third eye. Put all your focus and energy in there for a minute. And as it sits in your third eye, when I say the word perspective, what is the first thing that comes to mind? I want you to pull two places. I want you to pull a positive and a negative. The negative in your life right now is giving you a perspective that it could not give if it were positive. It's teaching you something and it's giving you something, because we come to earth as a blank canvas. So no matter how bad it feels, no matter how bad the experience seems, it's still giving. Think about the positive in your life and how beautiful the positive is because of that negative. And maybe the positive is the devotion you have in the morning right now, or maybe it's not clear. Next, bring that concentration into your throat. Connect into your throat chakra. When you say yes to something, you say no to something else. When you say no to something else, hold on to that heart and that belly for a few more seconds. And I want you to see how powerful your vessel is, that it's so much more than just the heartbeat and the stomach and the function. Have such gratitude for where this body has brought you, where it will bring you. Bring your hands together in your heart. And I want you to rub your hands together as hard as you can. So I want you to feel the burn. As you're pushing really hard together, you're also going as fast as you possibly can. I know that your shoulders are burning. I know your arms are burning, but push through that, right? I want you to push through the tension, because what comes after is such a deep, loving experience. And instead of running away from the tension, I want you to sit right through it, because that is really the perspective change. Go a little bit faster here. And now start to inhale and exhale fast. So right in the nose, out the mouth, as quickly as you can. Create as much speed, generate as much speed as you possibly can. Push your hands together as hard as possible. And as you're creating this, I want you to take note, right? We fear things, and so we run away from them. And instead of running away from them, this is a moment where we get to be excited about confronting them, because you are not alone. You are safe. Continue that breath. I know the arms are burning. Push through, push through, push through. You're going to tell me your shoulders are sore after this, but it's okay. And now, last 3, 2, 1, bring your hands right in front of your chest, close your eyes. And I want you to open your chest, roll your shoulders back. So push your chest out a little bit more. As you feel that energy going from hand to hand, I want you to start to connect your spine to it. As you connect your spine to it, either your spine's gonna move side to side, or maybe it moves a little bit forward. But begin to feel that energy go up and down the spine, hand to hand, as you open up your heart. The real perspective change is turning all your fear into excitement. As you turn all your fear to excitement, you'll see that they're really both the same emotion. All right, and we're working on emotions right now. Begin to alter that perspective. Be so excited for all the things that are coming. Feel a sense of liberation. Feel a sense of opening your heart. Your heart can only open when you feel safe. Feel so safe in this practice, as it's going to always guide you into the right moments. Bring your hands down to your knees. And now we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. But as you do, I want you to pull your belly button in and pelvis up. Okay, so you're going to go pull everything up, push it into your third eye space, hold it into that third eye space, exhale, release. Okay, inhale, belly button, pelvis, hold it. Okay, inhale, third eye, exhale. And now you guys continue, and I'm just going to explain why we are going to connect the belly button into the third eye and the pelvis, because the third eye cannot wake up until it feels really safe. And so if you feel like you've been blocked in that third eye space, this is where we can connect it and release whatever we need to, right? So inhale, really pull in the belly button, connect it here, exhale, release. And for those that tell me that you don't think you can build a core in yoga, get ready, because you're going to. Inhale, hold it in the third eye space, release. Inhale. Right? So I really want you to dive into the fears, right? Where are you holding yourself limited, right? Every belief is limiting in itself. There's no such thing as a limiting belief. Every belief has limitations. So no matter if it's a positive belief, no matter if it's negative, there are limitations. Because a belief in itself is negative if we follow it to a T. So I want you to disintegrate this idea of knowing that we now know nothing. And so it makes it really exciting because everything becomes a learning experience instead of trying to know everything. Continue to pull in the belly button, hold it third eye space, release it. I want you to think about all the fears that have been holding you back, the places you've been stuck, everything you want to release, all the emotions, whether it's anger, frustration, whatever it is, continue here. Speed it up a little. Inhale. Now hold at the top. Inhale. Hold it in your third eye space. What is the fear that comes up in front of your face? Let it just come. Only you know, I don't. I want you to thank that fear for approaching into your third eye space, coming in front of your area, into your practice. And release it completely. Beautiful, guys. Bring your hands back. I want you to bring your right leg out. Left leg comes in and you're going to bend at the right leg. I want you to push your chest towards your legs. Okay. Keep this foot nice and flexed. Right. So I want you to keep your backs as straight as possible. So every inhale, create space. Exhale. Go a little bit longer here. Think as if I have a string attached to my lower back and the top of my head. Holding here for the next couple seconds. I want you to really think about the left hip, right? The left feminine soft hip. I want you to find forgiveness in the places that you thought you had to be hard, but maybe being softer might be much easier right now. And find love for that gentleness. Take a big inhale, curl your belly button, exhale. And you're going to drop your knees, your left foot down to the right side, keeping your chest facing you and pushing a little bit more. And if you guys are here or here, that's fine. I want you, wherever you feel the tension is exactly perfect. So to be honest, I actually feel more here than I do all the way at the bottom. So right here, there's something in my hip. So I'm going to inhale, focus on that. Exhale. And again, keeping the back nice and tall. Top of the head is pulling, bottom of the hips are pulling. And continue to have that breath. Make it gentle but powerful. Bring it all the way back up in front of you. Straighten the right leg. Bring the left out in front. And now the right is going to fold over. And first, we're just going to stay here. I really want you guys to focus on keeping that back straight, letting your chest go first, right? So you don't want it to be here where you're hunched over. You want your chest to be up. And one side is going to be tighter. Our hips are never twins. They're always sisters. So I just want you to hold that container and that idea that one side, right, physically, we might be dominated on more on that side. So if we tend to use our right hip more or left hip more, of course, physically we'll feel that, but also emotionally and spiritually, right? You could be holding something. So this is your masculine hip that you're feeling, right? You'll feel that tension going through your hip into your lower back. And that right there could be that you're holding something. So I want you to fall in love with the ego and the pride because this is absolutely where it lives. As much as creation is beautiful, we also need to put it into action. And so I want you to find love for the places you didn't put into action and you learned, and the places that you did put into action and you saw a lot of magic happen. Take a big inhale, pull your belly button in, exhale, and drop it over to the left side. Right foot leads left side, keeping your chest facing you. And disintegrate that, let it go. And again, for me, last time it was here, I felt a lot. And this hip, I feel a lot more. And you guys can play with it where you inhale, go nice and slow. But the idea is you just want to disintegrate and release that hip. Whatever's being held in that hip, let it go. Hold your belly button, bring yourself all the way back up. Now bring that foot back down. Bring your feet together. And I want you to hold your feet, right? So sometimes in stillness, we can release. Sometimes we need to create energy. And so I want you to hold your feet here. Keep your elbows in. You're going to inhale, hips up. And as you're here, I really want you to have big inhales, exhales. So, and your hips are going to be sore here and they're going to be tired here. But I want you guys to push through that for the next few seconds. Keep your face gentle and slow and meditating. So forehead is gentle, eyes are sunken in, and continue that here. What is being held in your hips, right? That's your only focus. And continue on that third eye space. You guys can close your eyes here, right? Continue that third eye space. What is held here? Is there tension? Is there exhaustion? Is there frustration? Is there anger? Is there shame? Is there guilt? What is it I'm holding on to? Continue here for the next few seconds. Trust me, don't give up. You're going to be sad that you ended early because we're not going to go that long, I promise. Continue here. Push, 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 push. And now, take a big inhale here as tight as you can. Exhale and release it. And just let your knees fall down and disintegrate in it. And for a moment, hold here. I want you to think about what this emotion can give to you. On every emotion lives the opposite emotion. Anger equals love. Anger equals forgiveness. Hate equals love. And so whatever the emotions that are stuck here, they could give you. Shame can be pride, right? Feeling shame and guilt can actually turn into pride. Because if you metabolize it, you become really proud for all the things you've been through. So cross your legs, take your hands, and you're going to inhale forward. Right, we're really woken up the hips. So exhale, back, but pull that belly button in, curl that belly button in as you go back, protecting it. Inhale. So as much as we're disintegrating and dissolving, we're also building strength. Last two. Right there. And now switch to the other side. Inhale. I want you to make the commitment, right? We're actually going to get into a flow today, and we're just going to focus on what's called the psoas muscle. Let me come back to the middle. We're going to focus on the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle is the one that holds your spine into your front hips, your back hips. It literally holds everything together. It's your strongest, most powerful muscle, but it also is the emotional muscle. So, you know, my study goes into recovery and emotions, and where that's held is all in the psoas muscle. And so make that full commitment to just push through and release it. Okay. So when you're ready, you're going to cross your legs, bring your hands to the mat, bring both feet back, and you're going to take a big inhale, push your belly button in here from tabletop, and you're going to keep your knees bent. I want you to push your fingertips into the ground first. So push your fingertips in the ground so that not everything's on your palm. So push it in, plant your toes, and exhale. Come up into that first downward dog. And I want you just to keep your knees bent. I want to keep it nice and gentle here. Take a big inhale. Push your belly button in. Bring the left foot forward. Drop the right back. Take a big inhale. Rise it up. And you're going to exhale, bend the arms, right? So your arms are going to bend into this goddess pose and drop into that psoas, right? So stretching all through the thigh, into the front hip, into that belly. That's that psoas. Exhale. Bring your hands to the front. Plant that foot. Inhale. Let the left foot meet the right foot. Go down to your knees. Slowly bring it to the ground. Inhale, just half lift. So notice my elbows are still bent here. Plant your toes. Bring it all the way up. So now, inhale. Pull the belly button in. Drop the right leg. Bring the left down. Inhale. And exhale and release that one, right? Again, focus on thigh, hip, belly. Now bring it back to the front. And this time, the left foot is going to meet the right. You're going to inhale, halfway lift. Disintegrate it. Let it hang over and fully release it. Bend your knees. Inhale. Bring it all the way up to the sky. Exhale. Heart center. We're going to go through that one more time. Inhale up. Disintegrate it. Release it. Sit really firmly into the, hamstrings. And you'll notice that I'm always pushing my belly in. So you'll notice I don't just fold over. I actually have this, I would rather be farther away from my legs. If it means my belly button's in, I'm pushing myself straight up and making as much length in my back for my chest to go to the mat, not my head. Exhale, release, bring your hands down. Plant those fingertips in. So we're spider webbing the fingertips, and you're just going to step back, knees drop, bring your chest to the ground, halfway lift, toes plant, exhale, downward dog. And now you're going to inhale, curl it in, right leg comes to the front, drop the left knee, inhale, hands up, so beautiful, exhale, stretch into it, Fully release it. Bring your hands down to the ground. Plant your left foot. Bring it up. Right knee. Now you're just going to drop your knee, chest, halfway lift, toes plant, downward dog. Now, inhale, left foot to the front. Exhale, drop the right knee down. Again, the more I pull in my belly button is the more I pull my pelvis up. Inhale, which means I'm keeping myself nice and light. Exhale, really drop into that, right? So the more you feel the psoas muscles, the more you're going to release into it. Bring it down, hands down. Plant your back foot, and you're just going to hop this back foot all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fully release it. Inhale all the way up, hands to the side. And so now that you know this beautiful flow, we're going to go through it on each side one more time. I want to wake up that psoas a little bit more. I don't want to rush through everything because I want you slowly to integrate these things. But now that you know it, I want you in your mind to make the intention to fully release it. Every inhale counts, every exhale counts, every stretch counts. So inhale up, hands to heart center. This is where your perspective lives. This is love and forgiveness. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. Gentle knees and chest. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Left foot comes to the front. Drop the right knee. Inhale all the way. Inhale as much as you can. Hold here. And now exhale, drop into it. And just disintegrate it. Release it. Think as if you had a child, right? And you do. It's called your inner child. That inner child is begging you to let this pain go. The same way you would treat your inner child is the same way you should treat this body. Exhale. Hands down, plant the back foot. Inhale, come both together, drop the knees. Exhale, bring the chest low, halfway, only halfway. Plant the toes, inhale up. Inhale, bring that left foot to the front, drop the right knee. And now you're going to inhale again up. Hold it at the top as much as you can, create the tension. Exhale and release it. Drop really, really, really deep. I really want you guys to fall in love with this idea of opening that hip. Bring your hands to the front. And now you're going to hop the right foot to the front. Okay, so you guys are here. Now I want you to take a big inhale halfway. Lift, 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 lift. Exhale, walk your feet out. Okay, until you're in this yogi squat. As you walk your feet out, you want your toes to be pointing out. It's when I open my foot like that, I can open my hips a little bit more. So take a big inhale. And you'll sink. If you're here, that's fine. If you want to use a block underneath you or something to sit on, that's also fine. If you're all the way down, you can use your elbows, push your hands out. Whatever works for you. We practice for progress, not perfection. That's also the perspective change. So now, take 3 breaths here, wherever you are. And if you're here, that's fine. If you're here, whatever it looks like, if you're on a block, just disintegrate it, let it go. Bring your hands in. Okay, we're going to inhale, rise our hips up to the sky, belly nice and in, and then exhale, release it down. Inhale up. And as I go through these mantras, I want you guys to practice them in your head. So inhale, I am safe because I'm supported by the divine. Exhale down. Inhale. I'm exactly where I need to be with the right people, right places, right experience, right time. Exhale it down. Inhale it up. I forgive myself for every mistake I've ever made. Exhale. And inhale up. I forgive myself for the mistakes that I might possibly make. And inhale up. And every mistake is not a mistake. It's a learning lesson. And now continue to go at your own pace. Begin to find your own breath in your hips, right? So go where your breath takes you first. Breathe first and then dive into the movement. So it should be inhale. And then your hips naturally rise. Exhale. And let them sink. Continue here for the next few seconds. I know our hips are going to be burning. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And on the next exhale, stay here. And bring your booty all the way to the ground. Bring your feet in front of you. okay? And so now we're going to create tension into peace. It's because chaos can always be put into order, okay? Find that negative, find that thing that straight up pisses you off, okay? Whatever it is, bring your feet up in front of you. I want you to flex your feet, okay? Bring your hands here for right now. Let's go through this nice and slow. Bringing your feet up, you're going to create an L shape, that 90-degree angle. Keep your chest up nice and tall, right? So you don't want to sink here. And use your hands to support you. So as you're here, toes are coming to you. Pull the belly button in, okay? I want you to tighten everything in your body as much as you can. Bring your hands, if you can, right behind your knees, and you can hold here. And I want you to create breaths of fire. So really big inhales, pull the belly button in, exhale. And as you're here and creating this breath and hating this posture, just hold on to it for a minute. Squeeze and create as much tension, okay? I want you to think about the one thing that is so irritating right now and is just triggering you and just in front of you over and over again. And maybe it's the one thing that we don't want to deal with, don't want to work on, whatever it is, pull the emotion up. Continue to go, focus on that third eye space. Find that emotion and completely feel it, whether it's frustration, anger, sadness, grief, whatever it is that continues to trigger you and be at your front center. Continue here, less. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet down. Bring your chest up. Cross your feet. Bring your toes together. Knees are going to come apart, okay? Knees are going to come apart and you're going to roll back into child's pose, okay? When you're here, bring your hands into the center and you're going to bring them overhead, right in that prayer position. And you'll feel a nice deep stretch going all the way through the triceps into the lat. At the same time, we're stretching deep into the hips and deep into that psoas muscle. And here's the thing. Every chaos can be brought into order. So as you guys are in this child's pose, I want you to recall in what exactly did that previous posture give you? Was it anger? Was it frustration? Was this feeling of weakness, right? That was my biggest thing in that pose was, wow, I felt really weak. Like I need to really retrain my core. I feel weak in that area. I feel weak in those chakras. And so call out whatever that emotion is. And now I want you to place it into order. What can that emotion give me? This is where we are going to now metabolize our emotion. And that's how we can use our perspective. Our biggest gifts come from our biggest wounds. And it is the war, right? It's the war that makes the wounds well worth it. Because after war, we can metabolize anything into peace. And so whatever it looked like for you, whatever emotion came up, I want you to surrender to that emotion. Instead of running away from that emotion or not having any attachment to it, I want you to hug it here as you're in the surrender pose, letting your heart and your hips sink. And here's another pose where our hearts and our hips are connected. It's because once we feel safe, we can open up our heart. But also we must protect that heart. People, places, things, experiences. In every realm. And so now plant your hands and you'll push your hands to your shoulders, push yourself all the way up, bring your knees in together, come sit into this easy pose. And I want you to bring your hands to your heart. Take a big inhale. Please make sure you have the commitment for the perspective that you gained in this class. Let it carry with you throughout the entire day. We must practice spiritual practices, but also have spiritual action. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Make sure you use that perspective in all your nutrients, right? We want to really focus on aligning everything we're taking in from, hydration, food. Read your labels, use your coconut water. We're going to keep diving into more and more fun stuff about nutrition. And again, I don't want you to obsess over the perfect practice because that's the perspective change, right? Think really deeply about how far you've come in just 3 days and see how much you've gained, okay? Don't think about where we want to be and where we are now, because if we do, we're just going to have so much control over it, and it's so limiting because every belief, no matter what, is limiting. All right, guys, have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow.